camera, so it's like taking up a bit. It's cutting off my hair. My hair's my premiere quality. That's too high. That's too high. Too much hair. You want to look at kind of framing that, so the shot's like maybe an inch above my hair.
Alright, so...
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah? You like that?
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
So what becomes of you, my love?
I was approached by the director of the magazine, not the Ed. He'd previously seen my work for TV. I'd done some sound work and audio production. My first job was sound guy on Emmerdale Farm, or Emmerdale as it was then called. I don't know why the change.
My name's Sam Hastings. I am the Lighting Creative Director's Assistant at the Startup TV magazine.
Quite a long title.
It is a very long title. Fits on one line of A4 though.
Yeah, good. I mean, the thing with it is, I mean, I don't want to sound bitter about it or anything, but it's a video magazine. It's basically phasing my job out at the end of the day, so I don't want to say I'm too bitter, but it's always less copy here, sex it up here, change this, change that, reduce. So yeah, it's tough.
There was no real inspiration, to be honest. I just looked in the paper and there was an ad saying director one.
Don't really know, to be honest. I just turn up on a day-to-day basis and sit at my computer.
It's really amazing compared to where I was working last time. We didn't even have phones. You know, we had to sit there Morse coding everything. And I've seen some people walking around with the mobile ones.
Yeah, so I don't know. For instance, the last issue, I mean, probably got about 40 words in there. I would like to throw the odd word in, discombobulate, disestablishmentarianism, that kind of thing.
I kind of always knew that I'd be in the lighting business. You know, whether that is, you know, way up there with the sort of lighting guys in Hollywood films, or if it was something a little bit simpler like selling light bulbs.
I think the sound quality on the first issue wasn't the best. I think there was a few problems with the videos, but you know, I joined the team straight up to the top.
As I said, I saw the ad in the paper, fired off the old CV, and to be honest, that kind of does the talking, really. I think my CD carries a lot of weight. It's like 40 pages.
Slave drivers, the words. The Ed always had this kind of push-pull relationship with him, as I say. He's driving this video side of things. So I mean, my job will probably eventually become obsolete. It'll all be videos.
The Ed's alright, don't really see him. He just kind of comes in and goes, does what he likes. Goes for lunch quite a lot.
I first met the Ed on one of the Christmas parties. I'd only been there about a week. We went over and I was doing sound work we had a karaoke desk, and the Ed went up and sang a few numbers. A bit of Tom Jones, actually, was his favourite.
Well, the club that I was dancing at was one where the Ed used to come to quite a lot. And, you know, we just hit it off straight away, you know. He always had a big wad of cash sitting there, and so every Tuesday night, get the girls out, and he'd be quite interested, and eventually we got talking, and he said there was a web editor role going at this newspaper magazine thing. So yeah, I got the job, and here I am.
He's a good singer. Told him to release a couple of records, which hopefully come Christmas time. The Ed, number one.
yeah, I was doing a little bit of work with Ridley Scott down in Wales on Robin Hood. It's a good film. And yeah, the Ed just called me up out of the blue. Basically, just kind of told me about the project, and I thought, this sounds like the kind of thing that could take the world by storm.
To be successful in my line of work, you really need three things. Firstly is, of course, the stand that you put the lights on. It needs to give some good support to the light, to the weight of the light. Secondly, the light fittings need to be suitable. I mean, we're talking about things like the voltage of the country that you're in. If you go abroad, different voltage. It's caught me out a few times. And thirdly is these guys. These are the light bulbs. They're available in most good supermarkets, actually. These are the energy-saving variety. Have you got that in the shop there? Yeah? These are the energy-saving varieties. You can see they're painted white, and to be honest with you, when you look at it like that, it doesn't look like it would do much. But then, when you look at something like that, that's shining quite a lot of light down onto me. So,
I'd say pretty much all of it's down to me. I think there's a few other people that work in the company. I don't know who they are. You see them milling around, doing little jobs, but to be honest, I kind of look at them and all I'm thinking the whole time is I could be doing what you're doing, but doing it so much better than you are.
I think by far the most complicated interview that I can remember having to light was with Doug Richard. I mean, I don't know if you've seen him in recent years, but, his hairline's correct back, it's back here now, and the issue that we faced on the day was the fact that we needed some good light in the room. However, it would reflect back off his forehead into the lens of the camera.
Yeah, there's a few people I kind of, would like to get a few hints and tips from. When you're at the top of your game, I think, you kind of grow out of role models. I look at the work of, like your Spielbergs. It's kind of very admirable, but you can't help but kind of critique what they've done. Why have the girl wearing a red coat when she could have been wearing blue or green? Which are kind of those colours look much better on camera. So, I think role model wise, no one in particular.
Sorry?
Your favourite noise? Favourite noise?
Child's laughter, I think. I know it brings a tear to some people's eyes to hear a child laughing. Child crying, that's a different story altogether.
It's really good. I mean, perks. I mean, first and foremost, I'm not on a typewriter anymore. I've got a computer now, spell check, delete button. I haven't got to invest in plain paper.
Yeah, well, it's a bit like, I think the thing I can, liken it to, it's a bit like a wolf pack. I kind of consider myself to be the alpha male of the group.
He's right, he sits next to me, so kind of have to put up with him really.
I'd like to learn a little bit more about computers as I go on. Today I got the double click down.
It's actually funny how many people say they won't answer the questions I write for them. Deborah Meaden, we won't go into that. She's known for her litigation, so we won't go into it. But yeah, it's surprising how many people actually won't answer the questions I write for them.
Yeah, I'm kind of always in demand. I get a lot of calls. Yeah, people want to work with me. I think I can offer something to kind of any budding director. I can kind of give them fresh angles to look at and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm always busy.
I actually used to work with Deborah back in the day. Gosh, she can move.
It's all right. It's not the best we've done, to be honest with you. After the show, we were kind of a little bit pushed for time. I think a few of us stayed on in London after the show. Got a little bit too jolly, a few kind of bleary eyes this week. But I think given the fact that, most of the workforce were probably still drunk after the weekend, I think, I think the mag came out all right. Not bad.
Who's Brad Rossler?
I don't know, but there's a lot of people around, I think, that kind of look at what I'm doing. I kind of give them other jobs. You've got, the sound guy. you know, at the end of the day, he's just turning volume knobs up and down. But light guys just turning lights on and off. I think everyone kind of knows that, you know, kind of I'm the man, if you like. I'm the guy calling the shots, and I think the frustration is that everyone else around me just wants to be me. Why not?
It's a bit too hard for me.
Web editing arena.
Oh, follow your dreams. Like I was a dancer, didn't really know where I was coming or going, you know. And then this opportunity lands in your lap. You just got to take it. Take every opportunity, and go with it. And the web is really big. It's the future, I think.
I can't answer questions about my penis.
Just kind of edit people that are in the business, really. Haven't really heard of them before, so.
Yeah, well, you know, 12 months time. One of the guys that works on my team, actually, a guy called Laith, you know, a good guy, a little bit dull, but you know, he's good. He's been telling me he's been working on a script for Titanic 2, which is something, you know, I'm kind of really keen to kind of help him out on. I think, you know, there's kind of quite a lot I can offer to like a production like that. So, you know, fingers crossed, you know, a few years time, you know, that'll be kind of hitting the big screen.
I don't want to let too much out, but yeah, I wrote it. It's been denied a few times from the studios. Simon Hicks, the director of Startup TV, has actually come on board. I think he just really understands that metaphor that I'm trying to get across, although I've really gone for this kind of Phantom Mariner of Leonardo DiCaprio coming back. And my question is, if what goes up must come down, can't what go down come back up?
On that, you know, can see all the objects in the room and look at how the light bounces off them. And I really do think that, you know, you've got to get it right first time. I mean, you couldn't possibly mess it up because there's quite obviously going to be somebody fairly high profile sitting in the seat, and you just couldn't mess it up. You know, you've got to get the lighting to actually fit with the surroundings.